Welcome to Hudson Raider basketball on the River Channel. I'm Chris Larson, and we're back here at the East Gym. We've got girls basketball action tonight. It's the Hudson Raiders hosting the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's. The Raiders 3-5 entering the contest, 1-1 in the Big Rivers Conference, and Eau Claire Memorial 4-4, 1-2 in the Big Rivers Conference. Here's your starters. For Memorial, it's Allie Biermeyer, a junior 6-footer. That's number 5. Number 10, a senior 5'6", Jenna Sturs. At 5'9", a junior, number 20, Lauren Novak. At 6 foot, number 30, a senior, McKenna Gruber. And also at 6 foot, a senior, Tina McCann. For your Raiders, number 10, a freshman guard, 5'6", Anna Paquette. Number 12, the forward, a sophomore, Maggie Kohler at 5'8". At forward, it's Sarah Cryer, a senior, 5'9", number 20. Another senior, 5'6" guard, Kendra Wittes, number 22. And the other guard, a 5'9" guard forward, number 23, Ellie Whitaker. The Raiders coming off a victory against New Richmond on December 21st. And Eau Claire Memorial coming off a pair of wins over at the Big Rivers Conference Wisconsin Valley Holiday Tournament. They defeated Wisconsin Rapids and Wausau East. So both these teams entered tonight's contest kind of on a hot streak. Both these teams are right in the middle of the conference standings. The Raiders at 1-1, Eau Claire Memorial at 1-2. Both teams have defeated some of the lesser teams in the conference, and both teams have lost to a couple of the premier teams in the conference. So here we go. We've got Sarah Cryer facing off against Tina McCann from Eau Claire Memorial. And Cryer gets the tip. She'll knock it back to Wittes, and Wittes will run the offense for the Raiders. Gets it over to Paquette, but Paquette will step out of bounds. It'll be Eau Claire Memorial basketball. Pressure put on there by Jenna Sturs for Eau Claire Memorial. And now inbounding is Sturs. Gets it back, and she'll bring the ball up the floor. Sturs over to the corner to Biermeyer. And stolen away by Sarah Cryer, and here come the Raiders. Gets it to Paquette. Paquette over to Kohler in the lane. Kohler lays it up and in. It's 2-0 Raiders, 25 seconds into the game. Raiders apply the pressure. Memorial able to get it across the timeline. They'll work it down into the post. And now once again another turnover by Eau Claire Memorial, and the Raiders are running. Whitaker ahead to Paquette, down to Kohler in the post. Kohler kicks it back out to Paquette. Paquette fires for three. Short, bounces it off the rim, and Eau Claire Memorial will rebound with Biermeyer. Sturs will bring it up the floor for the Old Abes. Lauren Novak with the basketball. Now over to McKenna Gruber. Gruber drives and kicks it back to Novak. Novak over to Jenna Sturs. And Sturs, nice defense down there by Kendra Wittes. Nearly came up with it, but came out of bounds there, and it'll be Eau Claire Memorial basketball. Coach Jim Kazmarek wants to call a timeout. The Raiders' defense has kind of been all over the floor in the first minute 9 of this contest, and Coach Jim Kazmarek wanted to talk it over. Kazmarek used to coach the boys team, I don't know, it was probably around 10 years ago, and I believe his son now is playing on the Eau Claire Memorial boys team, so he has moved over to coach the girls team, and looks like he's having a good time. Coach Kaz, they call him, over in Eau Claire. So it'll be Memorial basketball with 6:51 remaining in the first quarter. The Hudson Raiders leading it 2-0. Jenna Sturs will inbound for the Abes. Sturs gets the ball into Novak. Novak tries to take it baseline, kicks it out to the edge, and now back over to Sturs. Sturs will reset the offense. Sturs over to Novak. Novak down to Biermeyer, and then it's Tina McCann getting the basket and the foul. McCann averaging 7.6 points per game for the Abes, and has the first two here in this contest for Eau Claire Memorial. And she makes the free throw to give the Abes a 3-2 lead. Here come the Raiders. Paquette over to Cryer. Cryer to Wittes. Down to Kohler in the post. Kohler tried to lays it up. It's blocked once again. Kohler's still fighting for the basketball, but Memorial will come up with it. Lauren Novak now with the basket. She'll go baseline before she kicks it out to McCann and stirs over to Gruber. McKenna Gruber with the ball on the wing. And she will take it in and gets it to fall in. 5-2, Memorial leads it. And Whitaker will be called for a travel. Trying to create some contact there and draw a foul. Memorial, some nice passing, can't get the basket to fall in, and Kohler will come up with the ball for Hudson. Here's Wittes. Kicks it over to Paquette. Paquette back over to Whitaker. Now to Cryer. Cryer down to Kohler in the post. Kohler kicks it out to Wittes. Wittes pulls up from the elbow. Can't get it to go. Abes will bring the ball up the floor, leading it 5-2. Novak over to Stirs. And Stirs to McCann. And McCann will get it to Gruber. Now Gruber over to Biermeyer for Memorial. Biermeyer will get it to Stirs once again. Here's Gruber. She's going to go baseline. Nice defense there by Wittes. Just stood tall. 3-ball there for Stirs. It doesn't fall in. And here comes Wittes. Wittes tried to drive, but it was Laura Novak stepping in front of her. Be Raider basketball. 4:47 remaining in the first quarter. Paquette now with the ball. Gets it into Wittes, who is wide open. Some kind of defensive breakdown there, and it cuts the lead to 5-4. Biermeyer in the corner. Biermeyer gets it into the post to a very open Novak, who kicks it over to McKenna Gruber for the basket. Gruber with 4 in this contest. Paquette to Cryer. Cryer over to Wittes. Wittes will drive the lane. And a 3 seconds in the lane violation called. I believe it was on Kohler. It will be Old Abe basketball. 7-4 Memorial. 4:12 remaining in the first quarter. Here come the Abes, breaking the press, bringing the ball up the floor. Gets it down into the post, nearly stolen away by Jordan Huber. Huber just entered the game. 3-ball by Stirs, takes it off the glass, and it is in, and that will give Memorial a 10-4 lead. Wittes will bring the ball up the floor for Hudson. Gets it to Anna Paquette. Paquette to Maggie Kohler. Kohler tried to get down in the lane to Cryer. It's going to have a jump ball situation. It will be Memorial basketball. Raiders looking to work it inside, but was well defended by the Abes. Tina McCann gets it to Laura Novak. Raiders trying to push it. Cryer gets a hand in there, but Memorial will retain possession. Novak, nice move, takes it down the lane and gets it to fall in. And Memorial extends the lead to 12-4 with 3:20 left in the first quarter. Here's Wittes over to Jordan Huber. Huber to Paquette. Paquette kicks it back to Wittes. Wittes cross court to Kohler. Kohler gets it inside to Cryer, but Cryer gets it stolen away, and here come the Abes once again. McKenna Gruber with the basketball, and she's going to draw a foul on Huber. No shot, but the Raiders will pick up their second team foul of the contest. Katie Fox enters the contest for Hudson. Maggie Kohler will go to the bench. Raiders play a lot of players on this team. They've got a deep bench. Here's Gruber. Gruber kicks it out to McCann, and now over to Rindy. Kaylee Rindy just entered the contest. Here's McKenna Gruber from the corner, working it down to the post to Sturz. Sturz kicks it back out. McCann from the wing. Over to Gruber. They'll reset the offense here with Sturz. Over to Natalie Turner. McCann over to Rindy. Rindy to Gruber. Gruber drives the lane. Tries to lay it in. Can't get it to go. Gets her own rebound and a nice foul up for Gruber. Paquette loses the handle on the basketball. Stolen away, but the Raiders get the ball back. Here's Wittes. Wittes is going to drive, take it to the rack, put it in there. Nice move there by Wittes. And the Raiders have cut the lead to 14-6, just under 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Raiders got out to a 2-0 lead, and then Memorial kind of put some points on the board there. Now Hudson's in a hole. McCann over to Rindy. Rindy in the corner trying to get it into the post. They'll kick it back out to McCann. There's Jenna Sturz from the wing, and now over to Gruber. Gruber takes it down the lane, throws it up in there, can't get it to go. Rebound Memorial, but they'll throw it out of bounds. It'll be Raider basketball. Gruber likes working the basketball down into the paint. She is the leading scorer for Eau Claire Memorial. Enters the contest with 11.9 points per game, has 6 already in this one. Kohler back into the game. Cryer comes out. There's Wittes over to Katie Fox. Katie Fox trying to get it to Kohler. Can't get anything going there. Back out to Wittes. Wittes over to Kohler in the corner. Kohler tried to get the Katie Fox kick ball from the Abes. It'll be Raider possession. You can use the foot to break up an offensive play, but the offense retains there. Kohler looking to inbound it here. Tried to get it to Huber, knocked away by the Abes. Alexis Rohnholt knocks it away. Here's Kohler once again. Gets it to Huber. Huber in the corner over to Wittes. Wittes tried to get it down to Katie Fox, knocked away by the Abes. And here comes Eau Claire Memorial. Memorial plays some nice defense out there, and that's a Jim Kazmarek tradition, trademark, if you will. Kazmarek will call timeout. Raiders had the Abes trapped there at center court. So 52 seconds left in the first quarter. The Hudson Raiders leading at 14-6. We got a little break here during the timeout. McKenna Gruber for Memorial with 6 points. Tina McCann with 3. Laura Novak with 2 and Jenna Sturz with 3. For the Raiders, Kendra Wittes with 4 points. Maggie Kohler with 2. This is the third Hudson girls basketball game we've covered so far this season. Very balanced scoring team. 6 players with over 6 points per game on this Hudson Raider basketball team. Rohnholt throws it out of bounds, but they say it's off Whitaker. So Eau Claire Memorial will keep the basketball. Sturz trying to inbound it, gets it to Rohnholt. Rohnholt defended by Huber. Wittes and Huber come up to try to set the trap once again. Leaves Rohnholt wide open at the baseline. Can't get it to go, but rebound for Memorial, and that's Lauren Novak. And Novak lays it in to give the Abes a 16-6 lead with 23 seconds remaining. See what the Raiders do here. Wittes knocks her defender out of bounds. Katie Fox now over to Huber. Huber with 12 seconds remaining. Has her pocket pick, still fighting in there. Katie Fox gets in there, gets the ball. Here's Wittes over to Kohler. Kohler can't get it to go, and the A's will rebound. 2 seconds left. Whitaker knocks the basketball out of bounds, and there'll be 1 second remaining here in the first quarter for the Old Abe's to try to get another bucket. Ronholt lets it fly, and no damage done there, but the end of the first quarter, it's the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's 16 and the Hudson Raiders 6. We'll be right back with the second quarter. Second quarter about to get underway, and the Hudson Raiders will inbound. Maggie Kohler standing at center court. Kicks it over to Kendra Wittes. Wittes over to Whitaker from the wing. Now Wittes kicks it out to Paquette for three. Can't get it to go. Cryer comes down with a rebound. And the officials are going to say we're staying on this end of the floor. White basketball. Raiders retain possession. Cryer over to Kohler. Here's Paquette to Cryer. Cryer for three. Can't get it to go, and it's a rebound for Eau Claire Memorial. Ball knocked away, but Sturs will bring it up the floor for the Abes. Kick it over to Gruber, now back to Sturs. Sturs going to take it down to the paint, kicks it over to McCann. McCann, and now we got Sturs at the wing. Gruber passes it over to McCann at the baseline. McCann fires it up and gets it to fall in. 18-6, Eau Claire Memorial. Whitaker over to Wittes. Now back to Cryer and to Paquette. Paquette to Whitaker. Whitaker to Paquette. Paquette will take it baseline and bring it back out. Kohler in the corner. Gets it down low to Cryer, and Cryer can't get it to fall, but she fights for the rebound, pulls it out of there. Wittes looked like she was going to pull up, kicks it over to Whitaker. Whitaker gets her pocket picked, and here comes Sturs. In transition, Kohler able to knock it away, but there is a foul called on her, and Sturs will go to the line. Raiders having some trouble here with the Memorial defense and really just not getting their baskets to fall down. Sturs hits every bit of rim before it falls in, and that will give Memorial a 19-6 lead now. Sturs is a senior. Old Abe's 3 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. The Raiders have yet to get to the line. Paquette over to Whitaker. Whitaker back to Wittes. Matter of fact, Memorial has not been called for a foul yet in this contest. Wittes down to Kohler. Kohler tried to lay it in, can't get the fall. Gruber, plenty of room, gets it to go in, and I checked that. That's Lauren Novak. And now the Raiders will call a timeout and talk it over. Coach Joe Benke, it's kind of a couple rush shots here by the Raiders. They need to slow it down. You get down by this many points, you kind of have a tendency as a player to try to rush things, and really that just compounds the problem. You can't get it back 16 points at a time. Raiders just going to have to calm down and just chip away at this lead. One basket at a time and one possession at a time on the defensive end. Hannah Worth enters the game for the Raiders. She's number 3, 5'5", senior guard. Cryer inbounds to Paquette. Paquette will bring it up the floor. Paquette to Worth. Worth back over to Paquette. Paquette kicks it to Whitaker. Whitaker tried to take it away, and she's going to be called for a travel. So another turnover by Hudson. And the A's with an opportunity here to add to their 22-6 lead. Sturs to Gruber. Gruber drives the lane, can't get it to fall in. Rebound Cryer, and Cryer will bring it up the floor. Picks up her dribble, now she's in trouble. Gets it over to Kohler. Kohler to Paquette. Paquette over to Whitaker. Whitaker gets it down to Kohler and tried to get it to Cryer. Went through her legs. Whitaker fires for three and can't get it to fall in. Kohler with the rebound, tried to lay it in. She's going to get fouled and will go to the line. They'll call the foul on Tina McCann, and Kohler will go to the line for two. Can't get it to fall in, and Memorial continues the lead 22-6 with 5:16 remaining in the second quarter. Kohler enters the game averaging 6.1 points per game. Gets that one to fall in. Those Stirs nearly loses the handle here, but she will bring the ball up the floor. Novak now with the basketball. Kicks it over to Biermeyer. There's Gruber defended by Katie Fox. It's it back over to Lauren Novak. Novak goes baseline, and she's going to be fouled by Kohler. Kohler stepped in there, played some nice defense, but left her feet, and that gave the officials plenty of opportunity to blow the whistle. 4 team fouls now for the Raiders. That's 2 on Maggie Kohler. Basketball to Lauren Novak. Novak over to Gruber. Gruber back to Novak. And she's going to dribble, kick it over to Biermeyer. Biermeyer pulls up from the baseline, can't get it to go. Tina McCann with the rebound for Memorial. Gruber to Biermeyer. Back to Gruber. Now down to Jenna Stirs. And stepping in there, Anna Paquette steals it away, takes it down to the court, and gets it to fall in. Raiders with another basket, cuts the lead to 13 now. Nice defensive play by Anna Paquette, the freshman. Stirs to Gruber. Gruber pulls up from the free throw line, and Cryer will be called for the foul. Slapped her hand there, and Gruber goes to the line. Cryer's first foul. It's the 5th team foul on the Raiders. Gruber goes to the line for the first time tonight. Can't get it to go, and that is the first miss for Eau Claire Memorial from the free throw line. They are 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. Gruber gets the second one to go in. 23-9, Eau Claire Memorial. Here's Huber trying to get it down to Cryer. Cryer back to Huber. Huber for three, gets it to go. Jordan Huber, the sophomore guard, drops in the 3 ball. The Raiders have a breakdown on defense, but they're able to rebound it. Katie Fox. Wittes will bring the ball up the floor for the Raiders. Over to Paquette. Paquette over to Cryer. 23-12, Eau Claire Memorial. Huber for three once again. Can't get that one to go in. And I believe Cryer is going to get called for a foul there. They will call it on Katie Fox. That's her first. 6th team foul for the Raiders, and Memorial will go to the line on the next Raider foul. Katie Fox steps in there, tries to steal it, bounces off the A player. Jordan Huber now with the basketball. She makes some room for herself, tries to lay it in and gets fouled. Huber will go to the line. The foul called on Kaylee Rindy. That's her first. It's the 2nd team foul for Eau Claire Memorial, and Huber will go to the line. Gets it to go. 2 for 2 from the line is Jordan Huber. 23-14, Eau Claire Memorial with 3:08 remaining. Raiders have responded to that timeout by Coach Benke. Raiders trying to set up a trap once again. Corner for Rindy was wide open, gets it over to McCann. McCann lays it in, easy bucket. Here comes Wittes. Wittes in trouble now. Cryer comes out there to get the ball. Cryer over to Huber. Huber pulls up for three. Can't get the go in. Memorial will come down with the rebound. Jenna Stirs pushing it up court. Gets it to Gruber. Gruber down to McCann. McCann makes some room for herself. Kicks it over to Rindy. Rindy pulls it up. Katie Fox able to knock it away. It will be Memorial basketball. Katie Fox always putting some quality time in, especially on the defensive end for these Hudson Raiders. She's a junior, 5'11" forward. Roanholt will inbound, gets it over to Novak. Rindy over to McCann. McCann to Novak. Here's Novak, defended by Wittes. Over to Roanholt. Roanholt defended by Huber, gets it down to Gruber. Gruber tried to lay it in, rebounded by Wittes. Knocked away, it will be Raider basketball. 1:53 remaining in the second quarter. The Hudson Raiders trailing in this contest, 25-14 to Eau Claire Memorial. Memorial making some substitutions. Raiders inbound, and here's Wittes. Wittes to Whitaker. Whitaker trying to set something up for herself. Pulls up, trying to draw a foul. Cryer comes up with it. Cryer will be fouled. She'll go to the line. Sarah Cryer averaging 8.7 points per game. She's the third leading scorer on the team. Has not yet scored in this game. We'll go to the line here. That foul is on McCann, and Cryer can't get it to go. That foul is on McCann. That's her second, and she'll come out of the game. Raiders 3 of 4 from the line now. And Cryer gets that one to fall in. 25-15 Eau Claire Memorial. Raiders need to come up with a couple defensive stops here. Try to get this game into single digits. Pull up from the baseline by Natalie Turner. And now firing away is Biermeyer, and that'll be Hudson Raider basketball as it knocks into the support. Here comes Wittes and the Hudson Raiders. Wittes to Huber. Huber back over to Wittes. Now Wittes is going to kick it out to Huber. Huber thought about pulling up for the three. She'll get fouled. Alexis Roanholt called for the foul for Memorial. She's a 5'5" senior. 4 team fouls for Eau Claire Memorial, so they still have a few fouls to give. 1:16 remaining. Here's Huber. Over to Whitaker. Whitaker to Cryer. Cryer to Wittes. Wittes trying to get it down to Katie Fox. Now to Huber. Huber back to Whitaker. Whitaker pulls up from deep three territory. It'll be Memorial basketball. They come up with a rebound. There's Gruber. And Gruber. That was Novak actually with the basket for Memorial. Here's Sarah Cryer. Cryer to Huber. Huber being defended well by Roanholt. Now Whitaker will reset the offense with 34 seconds remaining in the first half. And Wittes takes it to the hole. Can't get it to go, but Cryer comes up with a rebound. Wittes making some room for her. Tries the reverse lay-in, can't get it to go, and now here comes Memorial. 2-on-0, and that'll be Gruber laying it in for the easy bucket. Ten seconds remaining. Wittes over to Huber. 6 seconds left in the first half. Katie Fox tried to force it in. It will be a kick. It will be Raider basketball with 2.8 seconds remaining in this half. Raiders had cut the lead down to 10, but now it's back to 14. Cryer trying to get it to Katie Fox. Katie Fox can't come with a handle. Throws it up there, but not going to go in. And the Raiders will go into the locker room trailing Eau Claire Memorial 29-15. We'll be right back with a scoring update and the third quarter. Third quarter about to get underway. The Hudson Raiders in a 29-15 hole against Eau Claire Memorial. Let's go through the scores. Anna Paquette for the Raiders with 2. Maggie Kohler with 3. Jordan Huber with 5. Sarah Cryer with 1. And Kendra Wittes with 4. For Eau Claire Memorial, Jenna Sturs with 5. Lauren Novak with 8. And it's McKenna Gruber with 9 points. She had 6 in the first quarter. Tina McCann with 7, and that's how Memorial got to 29. Nobody in any kind of foul trouble at this point. Tina McCann with 2 for Eau Claire Memorial. Maggie Kohler with 2 for the Hudson Raiders. Memorial will inbound here to start the third quarter. Jenna Sturs will pass it in for the Abes. Sturbs to Gruber. Gruber to wide open Tina McCann. Big time defensive breakdown there for the Raiders. And here comes Whitaker. And Whitaker will throw it out of bounds. So things not starting out very well for the Raiders here. A big defensive breakdown followed with a turnover. Sturs to Novak. Novak back over to Sturs. Novak will kick it over to Biermeyer. Biermeyer fires and can't get it to go, but the Raiders will be whistled for a foul. Going to be on Whitaker. Ellie Whitaker, that's her second foul of the evening. First team foul for the Raiders here in the second half. Biermeyer with the basketball. Over to Novak, and now over to Jenna Sturs. Sturs back to Biermeyer. Biermeyer gets Wittes to leave her feet and then puts up the basket. Can't get to go. Here comes Kohler. Kohler will bring the ball up the floor. Paquette in tow, and the ball knocked away. Be Raider basketball. 31-15 Eau Claire Memorial. 7:19 remaining in the third quarter. Here's Cryer. Cryer lays it in. Sarah Cryer with her first basket of the evening. Cuts the lead back down to 14. Sturs to Gruber. Gruber going to drive, and she gets it to go in. McKenna Gruber with 11 points. That's her average. She averages 11.9 per game. Whitaker over to Paquette. Paquette fires for 3, gets it to go. Anna Paquette with the 3 ball. It's 20-33 now. Novak over to McCann. McCann to Biermeyer. And now Sturs will reset the offense from the wing. Kicks it to Novak and back over to McCann. Biermeyer to Gruber. Gruber down to Sturs. Knocked away by Kohler. But she will be fouled, and I believe that is going to be on Whitaker. And that will be her third. So Sturs will go to the line. And she gets it to fall in. Sturs 3 for 3 from the stripe. Jordan Huber will come in for Ellie Whitaker. Huber, a 5'7" sophomore. Sturs can't get it to go in. Rebound, Kohler, and Wittes will bring the ball up the floor for the Raiders. Wittes over to Cryer, and now Paquette in the corner kicks it back out to Wittes. Wittes to Huber. Paquette for 3, gets it to fall in, And Anna Paquette, 2 straight 3 balls, have the Raiders to within 11 points at 34-23. Old Abe's with a 3-on-2. They work it down to McCann in the post. McCann loses her feet. We've got a jump ball situation. Possession will stay with Eau Claire Memorial, but the arrow will go to the Raiders once they inbound it. They realized they didn't switch the scoreboard after Memorial had inbounded, so it'll be Raider basketball. Memorial inbound to start the quarter, and I guess the folks running the board forgot to switch the arrow. But they figured it out. Here's Wittes. Trying to get it under the corner, and it'll be Raider basketball. Sturs knocked it away. 2 Raiders going for the ball there. Kohler's going to inbound for Hudson. Kohler over to Wittes. Wittes to Huber. Huber fires for 3, gets it to go in, and the Raiders are heating up from the land of 3 points. Huber with 8 points in this one already. Kohler comes up with a rebound. Raiders trailing at 34-26, have the lead to an 8-point game. First time it's been in single digits since early in the first quarter. Gets it over to Paquette. Paquette down to Cryer. Cryer turns around, knocks it off the backboard, still fighting for the basketball. It'll be a jump ball situation. This time Memorial will get the basketball. So Memorial gets possession on the arrow. Kaylin Jenkins, the freshman 6-footer, number 43, enters the game for the first time for Hudson. Maggie Kohler will come out. And here comes the Abes on a 2-on-1. And McCann couldn't get the ball over to Rindy. So here's Gruber to set the offense. Gruber back to McCann. Here's Sturs. Sturs going to try to take a baseline, and Paquette will get whistled for a foul. Turned her shoulder, and easy opportunity for the guys in the stripes to blow the whistle. First foul for Paquette, 3rd team foul on the Raiders. Here's Gruber. Gruber taking it down to the box. Sturs over to Gruber in the corner. Defended by Cryer. She'll drive baseline, try to lay it in. Wow. Well defended by the Raiders, but Gruber will get the whistle. We're going to call the foul on Cryer. That's her 2nd. 4th team foul on Hudson. No team fouls on Memorial as of yet in this half. 4:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Gruber is 1 for 2 from the line, make it 2 for 3. 35-26 Memorial lead now with 4:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Plenty of arc on those free throws, but they're going in. Gruber is 3 of 4 from the line. Wittes over to Huber. Huber back to Wittes. Wittes uses the pick, takes it down the lane, can't get the fall in. Abes will rebound. Here's Jenna Sturs. Sturs to Gruber. Back over to Sturs. Sturs defended by Jordan Huber. Huber knocks it away. Old Abes will keep the basketball, but Huber doing a nice job of putting the pressure on Jenna Sturs. And Gruber's going to be whistled for a foul. McKenna Gruber, senior, 6 foot forward for Eau Claire Memorial. Called for the travel, and here comes Wittes. Wittes ahead to Huber. Huber well defended by Sturs. Cryer gets it into Kaylin Jenkins, stolen away by Gruber, and here come the Abes. On the break, gets it over to Novak, and Novak back to Gruber. Kicks to McCann. Down to Novak. Novak can't get the go. Huber knocks it away. Gets it over to Paquette, and the Abes are running. Paquette to Wittes. Wittes down to Kaylin Jenkins, and Jenkins loses the handle. She's able to get back in there. It'll be Raider basketball on the jump ball. Cryer will inbound. Gets it to Jenkins. Jenkins to Wittes, now over to Cryer. Cryer for three, nothing doing. Huber able to rebound it. Huber to Paquette. And Paquette whistled for a foul away from the ball. That is her second foul, fifth team foul on the Raiders. No team foul so far called on the Abes in this third quarter. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, 36-26, Eau Claire Memorial. Here's Novak. Paquette sticks a hand in there, but Novak able to lay it towards the basket, can't get the go, and then she gets the rebound and the follow. Laura Novak with 8 in the first half. That's her first bucket of the second half. Gruber comes around, and she's going to be whistled for a foul on Wittes. First foul of the game on McKenna Gruber. First team foul for the Old Apes. Here's Jordan Huber. Over to Katie Fox. Katie Fox down to Kaylin Jenkins. Jenkins with the turnaround, just short, and the Old Apes will come up with a rebound. Here's Gruber. Over to Jenna Sturs. Back to Novak. And now to Rindy. Gruber takes a baseline, lays it in. And Gruber with 6 points in this third quarter. He's up to 15 for the game. Wittes out to Paquette. Now over to Katie Fox. Paquette down to Kaylin Jenkins. Jenkins puts it up there, and she's fouled. I believe that's going to be on Jenna Sturs. It is on Sturs. That's her first foul of the contest. Kaylin Jenkins will go to the line for the first time tonight. And she gets it to go. That cuts the lead to 40-27, Eau Claire Memorial. Kaylin Jenkins, freshman. Pretty young team for the Old Abes, or for the Hudson Raiders. Jenkins can't get the second one to go in, and the Old Abes will take over. Here's Roanholt. Roanholt driving. Had some contact with Jenkins, but no whistle. Wittes pushing it ahead to Hannah Worth. Hannah Worth up to Katie Fox. Katie Fox back to Worth, and now over to Jordan Huber. Going to have a whistle here on Alexis Roanholt. Second foul on Roanholt, third team foul for the Abes. Katie Fox will inbound for the Hudson Raiders. Out to Wittes. Wittes to Huber. Huber back to Wittes. Huber's going to pull up from just inside the arc, gets it to go. 40-29 now, cuts the lead back down to 11. Abes had a 3-on-1, but nearly turned it over. McCann over to Rindy. Rindy now over to Biermeyer. And Biermeyer will get it back over to Sturs to reset the offense. Here's Sturs. Over to Roanholt. And the Abes taking their time. They're in no hurry. Sturs defended by Jordan Huber. Huber able to get in there. She will force the jump ball. It'll be Abes basketball, but that will switch the arrow around. I think the Raiders were starting to get a little impatient defensively as they realized the Abes were just trying to burn some clock, and why wouldn't they? Roanholt inbounds to Sturs. Sturs over to Gruber. Gruber to wide open Sturs, and Sturs lays it in. get a little impatient defensively, and sometimes you forget to defend someone. Raiders are in a tough spot right now, trying to climb out of a hole. Wittes is going to try to hold the ball for the last shot here for the Raiders. 6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Here's Wittes, 1 second left, and there'll be a foul called on Eau Claire Memorial. It's going to be before the shot. A foul called on Roanholt. That's her fourth team foul. The Raiders will inbound with 0.1 seconds remaining on the clock. So it really turns out to be a pretty good foul. Raiders going to have a hard time shooting with 0.1 seconds. Hannah Wirth lays it up there, but it will not fall in. It's a pretty good foul in that, Wittes had a really nice scoring opportunity there. But the whistle blows, and then the Raiders end up with the basketball with 0.1 seconds to score. So the third quarter comes to an end, and Eau Claire Memorial leads it 42-29 over the Raiders. The Raiders mounted the comeback there, got the lead down to 8 points before Memorial was able to reestablish themselves. And really that comeback led by some underclassmen. Anna Paquette with 6 points in the third quarter. She's a freshman. Jordan Huber, the sophomore, with 5 points in that third quarter. Huber with 10 for the game. Paquette with 8. Maggie Kohler has 3. Sarah Cryer has 3. Kendra Wittes with 4. And Kaylin Jenkins, another freshman, she had 1 point right there in the third quarter as well. For the Old Abes, we have Jenna Sturz with 8 points. Lauren Novak with 10, McKenna Gruber with 15, and Tina McCann with 9. Raider basketball here to start the fourth quarter. Wittes to Whitaker. Whitaker from the wing. And now Wittes in the corner, trying to get it down into the post and Cryer. Nothing happened. Whitaker with the head fake, lays it in. Nice basket there by Ellie Whitaker. Her first points of the contest, takes the lead back down to 11 points. Here's Memorial. Sturz with the basketball now over to Gruber. Gruber to Biermeyer. Biermeyer's going to drive into the lane, and she's going to be fouled, and I believe that is going to be on Whitaker, and I believe that will be her fourth. It is. So the foul called on Ellie Whitaker, and she's had a hard time tonight. It seems like every time she gets into the game, she's whistled for a foul. Biermeyer averaging 6.5 per game. That's her first point of this game. So Whitaker comes out, Huber comes in. And Biermeyer hits both of them to give Memorial a 44-31 lead with 7:20 left in the game. Huber down to Kohler. Kohler's going to get called for a travel, and it'll be Old Abe basketball. Maggie Kohler does a nice job from the post, but that time with 3 defenders, she took an extra step and was whistled. Sturz gets it to Gruber. Raiders setting up the press. There's Novak, and the Raiders will back off. Jenna Sturz defended by Paquette. Paquette got a hand on the ball, but couldn't rip it out of there. Biermeyer defended by Huber, and now Sturz will reset. The Old Abes haven't shown much aggressiveness on offense in the last few minutes of basketball here. They're just going to pass it around and take what's given to them. They get an opening, they're going to take a shot. If not, no need to score. They're up by 13. No shot clock in high school basketball. Gruber over to Sturz, and now the Raiders starting to apply some pressure. Gazmarek will call a timeout. It's the third called timeout for Eau Claire Memorial. They've got 2 left. The Raiders have 4 left, and they trail in this one 44-31, 6:28 remaining in the fourth quarter. Scoring this one by quarter, it was 16-6 Memorial over the Raiders in the first quarter. Memorial outscored the Raiders 13-9 in the second quarter, and it was the Raiders outscoring Eau Claire Memorial 14-13 in the third quarter. Do all the math there, and we end up with a 13-point lead here for Memorial. So Jenna Sturz will inbound for Eau Claire Memorial. Gets it to Gruber, who nearly loses the handle, but comes up with it. Pressure applied by Cryer. Now Wittes nearly knocks it away, and Memorial will turn it over. The Raiders realize they're going to have to turn up the heat here because Eau Claire Memorial wants to play the four corners offense. Prevent offense, if you will. Just trying to run some clock. So Kohler will inbound here for Hudson. Kohler tried to get to Huber, stolen away by Novak. And here come the Yabes. McCann to Novak. Now over to Sturz, who'll get it down into the post of Biermeyer. Back out now. Sturz over to Gruber. Sturz to McCann this time. McCann trying to make some room for herself. The Raiders trying to set up the trap. Sturz takes a baseline, lays it in. Nice move by Jenna Sturz, who has 10 points for the game. 46-31 Memorial. Huber tried to fire for three, was blocked by Novak, and now Cryer will shoot for three. Bounces it off the rim. Rebound for Kohler. Kohler kicks it out to Huber. Huber makes a move, will take it baseline, and will draw the foul on Novak. First foul of the contest for Lauren Novak, and Huber will go to the line. She's 2 of 2 so far tonight from the charity stripe. Hits the first. Katie Fox will enter the game for Maggie Kohler. And she puts it in. So the Raiders now 4 of 4. Or check that, Huber 4 of 4 from the line. So here's Jenna Sturz. To the Gruber, now kicks it over to McCann. Raiders going to turn up the heat here, and they will knock the ball away. Jumping in there is Cryer, gets it ahead to Wittes. Wittes with the fake, but can't get the second effort to go. We have a jump ball called, and that will give the basketball to Eau Claire Memorial. Possession arrow in Memorial's favor. Raiders will set up the press. 46-33, Eau Claire Memorial over Hudson. Here's Sturz, and Memorial with a 2-on-2 break. Try to get to Biermeyer, nearly loses the handle, but Memorial able to come back with the basketball. Gruber down to McCann, now back out to Sturz. Gruber gets it down to Novak. Novak turnaround, can't get it to go. Rebound, Katie Fox. Fox to Wittes. 4:36 left in the game. Paquette down to Cryer. Cryer can't get it to fall in. 46-33. Memorial leads 4.5 minutes left in the game. We're going to have a foul, I believe, on Huber. So the foul called on Jordan Huber. That's her second, and that will send McKenna Gruber to the line for a 1-and-1. Really not a bad foul because Memorial is trying to run clock here. Gruber hits the first one. Need to apply pressure, hope to get a steal, but be plenty aggressive on defense. And if you get a foul, it's not the end of the world. At least it stops the clock. Gruber, the rainbow arc on those free throws, but she's very efficient with them. 5 of 6 from the line. Wittes takes it down the lane, fouled hard. She will go to the line. And the foul called on Gruber. We'll send Wittes to the line for the first time. She had 4 points in the first quarter, hasn't scored since. Gets that one to fall in. Puts a nice looking spin on the ball. Sarah Cryer will hit the bench for a moment. Kohler comes back into the game. And Wittes is 2 for 2 from the line. 48-35 now, the lead for Memorial. McCann to Novak. Novak's going to bring the ball up the floor. Gets it over to Gruber. Gruber back to McCann, and now over to Sturs. Here's Novak. Over to McCann, and Sturs now to Gruber. We've got a whistle. And Anna Paquette lost her shoe. The officials called an official's timeout to give her an opportunity to get her shoe back on. She'll come out of the game. Hannah Worth will enter the contest for the Raiders. She's number 3, a 5'5" senior. Hannah Worth. Gruber gets the ball. Locked up was Katie Fox and Lauren Novak. I believe Fox is going to get called for the foul. She is. It's her second team foul, or second foul of the night, 8th team foul called on Hudson. Novak will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Memorial's been perfect in the 1-on-1 situation, getting that front end. 49-35 Memorial. She gets that one to go as well. Here's Whitaker. Whitaker to Wittes. Kohler with the pick. Wittes trying to create an opening. Whitaker over to Worth. Worth down to Katie Fox in the post. Ball knocked out of bounds by Gruber. It'll be Raider basketball. 3:41 left in the game. Katie Fox gets it to Kohler. Kohler picks up her dribble and gets it to Wittes. Wittes drives the lane, lays it up there, can't get it to go. Rebound, Katie Fox out to Kohler. Kicks it to Whitaker. Whitaker for 3, short. Ball bouncing around there. Kohler with the rebound, knocked away by Gruber. And now we've got a jump ball situation. Katie Fox in there battling with Tina McCann. The Raiders will keep the ball on the possession arrow. Now Sarah Cryer will enter the contest for Katie Fox. Cryer, senior, 5'9" forward. You get the ball into Cryer. Takes it out and gets it to Whitaker. Kohler trying to make room for herself in the lane. Nice move. Gets it in there, and that will cut the lead to 13. Here comes the Abes. McCann, left open in the corner. Over to Gruber. Now Novak. Back out to Sturs. The Raiders are going to have to do something here. 2:52 left in the game. Cross court. Whitaker picks it off. We've got a fast break. And Whitaker gets it to go, and she'll go to the line. Whitaker kind of faked the pass, laid it in there. The foul called on Jenna Sturs. That's her second. It's the 7th team foul for Eau Claire Memorial. They no longer have any fouls to give. The Raiders will go to the line for the rest of the contest whenever they draw a foul. And Whitaker can't get the free throw to fall in, but they will say it was last touched by the Raiders. So it will be Old Abe's basketball, but head coach Joe Benke calls the timeout. 50-39. Eau Claire Memorial over the Hudson Raiders. Go through the scoring for the Raiders here real quick. It's Paquette with 8, Maggie Kohler with 5, Jordan Huber with 10, Sarah Cryer with 3, Kendra Wittes with 6, Ellie Whitaker with 4, and Kaylin Jenkins with 1. For Eau Claire Memorial, it's Ellie Biermeyer with 2. We've got Jenna Sturz with 10, Lauren Novak with 12, McKenna Gruber with 15, and Tina McCann with 9. Puts us in the situation we're in now, with Memorial leading this game by 11. .244 left in the game. Both teams in the bonus. Possession arrow pointing toward Eau Claire Memorial. McKenna Gruber will inbound for the Abes. Gets to McCann, back to Novak, and now Gruber ahead to Sturz. 2-on-1 for Memorial, and Sturz will pull the basketball back out of there. Gets it down to Biermeyer. Biermeyer over to Novak. Novak in the post, lays it up there. Rebound, Raiders. Battling in there is Sarah Cryer. It'll be a jump ball, and Memorial will keep possession. Jenna Sturz to inbound for the Abes. Sturz to Gruber. Gruber cross court over to McCann. Now McCann back to Sturz. Gets it over to Biermeyer in the corner. Raiders got the trap set, and timeout called by Kazmarek. Coach Kaz protecting his possessions, even though the team up by 11 here with 2:18, he's not taking any chances. Call that timeout and try to make sure we don't turn the ball over here with the last few minutes remaining in this game. So next up for the Raiders, they'll travel to Chippewa Falls, and then they'll be home against River Falls. Chippewa Falls, one of the top teams in the conference. They're 2-0 in the Big Rivers, and River Falls struggling so far this season. They're 0-3 in the conference. Take a look at those Big River standings. Eau Claire North 3-0. Chippewa Falls 2-0 in the conference. Rice Lake 2-1. Your Hudson Raiders 1-1 currently. Eau Claire Memorial came into this contest 1-2. Menominee 0-2. River Falls 0-3. Jenna Sturz will inbound for the Abes. Sturz over to Gruber. Back out to Tina McCann. 2:15 left in the game. McCann will pull up and gets it to fall in. It's her first points of the fourth quarter. Wittes over to Paquette. 52-39, Old Abes over the Hudson Raiders. Whitaker over to Cryer. Cryer's going to pull up for three. Can't get it to go. Rebound for Eau Claire Memorial. And he can just about turn the lights out on this one. Gruber over to Sturz. 1:44 left. Eau Claire Memorial up by 13. McCann with another basket will make it a 15-point lead. Anna Paquette. So they'll call a foul on Kendra Wittes for a pick. Foul called away from the ball, and it will be Eau Claire Memorial basketball. Offensive fouls, so they won't go to the line here, even though it was the 9th team foul for the Raiders. Biermeyer over to Novak. Novak ahead to Sturs. Sturs to McCann. McCann lays it in. McCann with a basket and 3 straight possessions here in the fourth quarter. Wittes out to Cryer. Cryer fires for 3. Gets it to go, but the Raiders still trail by 14 with 56 seconds left. McCann wide open, gets it to Biermeyer, and Biermeyer drops it in there. 58-42 Memorial. Kendra Wittes out to Whitaker for 3, and she splashes it in there. Whitaker, with no points through the first 3 quarters, has exploded for 7 here in the fourth. Raiders will cut the lead to 13 points with 36 seconds left in this game. They're going to need a lot of things to go their way here. Possession arrow is in the Raiders' favor. So back on the floor here for the Raiders. Maggie Kohler, Sarah Cryer, Jordan Huber, Ellie Whitaker, and Kendra Wittes. Gruber will inbound for Memorial. She has the entire baseline. Gruber's going to bring the ball up the floor. Gruber over to Biermeyer. Biermeyer swings it back out to Sturs. 26 seconds left. Back over to Sturs now. And here's Novak to Biermeyer. And Huber will come up with the basketball. 15 seconds left. Over to Whitaker. Whitaker brings the ball up the floor, kicks it to Wittes. Now to Huber. Huber fires for 3. She makes it, puts it in. Huber with her third 3-point basket of the game. And that cuts the lead back down to 10, 58-48 with 5 seconds left in the game. Huber with 15 points in this game. She's the leading scorer for the Raiders. She had 5 points in the second quarter, 5 points in the third quarter, and now she's got 5 here in the fourth quarter. Very consistent in that regard. I don't have a statistician here. I couldn't tell you what her percentage is, but I know she hasn't missed very many. Pretty accurate from behind the arc is Jordan Huber. And hopefully we'll get to see plenty more from her in the years to come. She's just a sophomore. Sturs will inbound for the Abes with 5 seconds left in the game. Sturs to Gruber, and Gruber's going to be fouled by Huber. And I don't think she meant to do that. Like the Raiders wanted to play good aggressive defense, but in the hole they were in, didn't look like they were trying to foul. Either way, Huber with her third foul of the game, and Gruber will go to the line for 2 as they are now in the double bonus. Misses the first. 2 seconds left in the game. Hits the second one. And the Raiders with one last gasp effort. Wittes will let it fly. Can't get it to go, and the Raiders will fall tonight 59-48 to Eau Claire Memorial. Memorial evens their conference record to 2-2. The Raiders will fall to 1-2 in the conference. Let's go over our scoring here. Anna Paquette with 8 points. Maggie Kohler with 5. Jordan Huber with 15. We've got Sarah Cryer with 6. Kendra Wittes with 6. Ellie Whitaker with 7, all in the fourth quarter. And Kaylin Jenkins with 1 for the Raiders. For Eau Claire Memorial, Allie Biermeyer with 4, all in the fourth quarter. Jenna Sturs put in 10. Lauren Novak with 12 points. McKenna Gruber is the game's leading scorer with 18. And Tina McCann also had a very nice game, 15 points for Tina McCann. So that's it tonight from the East Gym. Your final score, the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's 59 and the Hudson Raiders 48. Next week we'll have boys basketball action. So for my camera guy, John Watkins, I'm Chris Larson. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next week.